Hello guys, everyone. Hello friends from Reach for Love from Eaton Radio. This is He-Man. I'm one of the guest speaker of tonight's show, and welcome big fans to Fred coming to Hong Kong again. Woo! We have Andy also.
Hey.
Yeah, so thanks for joining our live streaming today, and so happy that we can have this session here in Eaton Radio. So let's start our talk today. So thanks so much, Fred, again. And yeah, I need to make sure you're on the camera. Yeah, and it's quite busy here, honestly, in the restaurant. We are right now in Eaton Radio. A lot of people having their dinners and going to listen to our talk and the music. So, Fred, how do you feel about Hong Kong from the second time coming? It's a busy trip today, I guess, for you. Is the weather treating you well?
The weather's amazing. I'm happy to be back. I was looking forward to this for the past 2 weeks, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. So we actually thought of a lot of questions to ask you, and somehow we want to let our audience know some of your side. It's not just as an artist, but some interesting topics. Like we're currently in a restaurants area. So one of the questions would be, what kind of favorite food do you like? Your favorite food?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I would say, to make it simple, I only have 2 categories of food nowadays, and that's good and bad, basically. So if it looks good, that's my favorite food.
Sounds like buying vinyl, right? If it has a good cover, then
It must be good.
yeah.
Exactly that.
Right. So after this, let's try to have a menu competition and see which one got the best photo of the food.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And let's move on from that. So you must have been to a lot of places all over the world and many different clubs. Do you have any story you can share about from your tour journey, like any design from the club that you like, or any scenario that you still having very impressive moments for the journey?
Any favorite place or anything like that?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite all-time place is playing around the bar because I feel the most artistically free. I can play anything I want to play, and I can go as hard and loud as I want. It's just, I feel like I turn the soil every time I play there, and I have fresh inspiration. So that would be my number one place. But everywhere that I go, it's always like the first time, and I open myself up to it to hopefully communicate what it is that I do, and then also receive recognition of that, and therefore being inspired, I make new stuff, and then the cycle continues. So I would say everywhere I go is pretty cool because it's new to me and I learn something.
Yeah, it sounds like wherever you go is cool venue, right?
Yes, I haven't. I mean, the thing is, even when it is not ideal, it's still a good situation because I'm either learning or contributing in a way where on the other end of it, it's beneficial.
Thank you. So can we try to go into your early stage of your career? Any moments of like how did you begin your DJ career? Does it start from a party? Or, yeah.
Okay, well, it wasn't necessarily a plan. My initial goal getting involved in the music industry was to make records, vinyl records. That's what I wanted to do from a kid because I grew up on vinyl. And by the time I got into it, because I kind of got into it a little bit late, I guess you could say, because I was in my 30s when I got into it. And it just kind of came along with it because the vinyl market started to shrink, and it seemed in order to have a consistent way of continuing, I kind of had to start DJing, and how that worked out, it kind of all started from a set of releases. Like my very first DJ gig was at a club called Sapphire for a party called Deep Sea, and we were like 2 people there. That was my first album as Black Jazz Conservative. I mean, those 2 people came, they danced for a little while, and then they left, and I figured, okay, that's it. I have my 15 minutes, and now I'll go settle into a life of mediocrity. And oddly enough, it didn't stop there. I got another opportunity to play overseas when my second record came out, my second vinyl record came out. It was a record called No Looking Back, and the song that got popular was called Every Day. They were playing that track on Frankfurt radio consistently, and that record did really well for me, and I got invited to play at Cube with Move Deep, and also Hoffen 2 and Muffenbach. And again, there were a lot of people, but I cleared the floor in both places. And I figured that was it. And I would go back to America, get a job at the post office, and settle into a life of mediocrity. That was really what my mindset was. But then, again, things changed. I mean, I got around to doing New Horizons EP, and then the Structure album. And those 2 projects, well, it's one project, but EP and the album both changed my life, led to where I am now.
Right. Thank you for sharing about your early career part, and we want to know more when you talk about production. In your early stage, you want to produce your own music. Where did that inspiration come from? Or any people or any special events who inspire you or have you get involved into this whole music journey?
Well, the credit for that goes to my parents, because as a kid, I didn't have any clue, understanding of what the language of music is. And at that time, I got all of that information from my parents. My mother would play records and sing to them. My dad would play records and go into his thing. They were both very different in their tastes, but both of their tastes fed me. My mother was more into R&B, soul, classical music, Johnny Mathis. Yeah, you should look that up. Google Johnny Mathis. That's where I get the idea for chords, melody, strings, pads. That's all my mother. And then the funk and the bass and the hardness and all of that. It's my pops, because he listened to reggae, funk, soul, disco, and he was also a writer-producer himself. So I got a lot of my understanding from them. How I got into production is that those sounds that they would play in the house got trapped in my head. The classical stuff, all the strings, my mother singing to it, trapped in my head, and in my head it made a certain type of sense where it made emotion come out of me. And you know, I figure, you know, a kid's imagination is highly active, so I started tearing up things in the house, trying to figure out how to make those sounds. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that. But what that did was to set me on a path of curiosity, and I never let it go, and one thing led to another. Now fast forward a bunch of years to when I was 15, roughly 15, I saw the inside of a studio for the first time, like a control room where engineers stood, and there's this huge board and stuff, and I was basically hooked from there because it looked like a spaceship. And yeah, I'm like one of those when it comes down to looking beyond where we are and looking to the stars and stuff like that. And it seemed like was some kind of pathway through the language of music. And I never stopped from that point.
Well, I think you just share a lot of good wave to, I think, a lot of audience who are DJ or producers. They might looking for inspiration. I guess one of your points was saying from your childhood or from all your listening background or history is quite important because that shapes your inspiration at some point in your journey, right?
Absolutely. I think your experience is what makes you into the type of artist that you are. I decided early that I'm not going to be anything other than what I am, and that's a work in progress. Like, my whole deal is, I like, for example, I'll give you a great example. I got into house music in high school, and the first house records I was listening to was like Kerry Chandler, his Dee Brave Project, and Pal Joey, and like Cassio Ware, stuff like that. Early, like, talking like 89, 90, like when house became deep in New York. And all of those things I described earlier, those influences from my parents, were in the music. Like, for example, the Dee Brave Project, bluesy, deep, chord-driven vocal house. Had all of that stuff in there. I totally heard myself in it. And I was hooked on Kerry Chandler from there because he presented the soulful chords over hard beats, and I was into hip-hop. So it married the two together, and then I found myself in it, and I followed it from there. So yeah, you never know what gets trapped in your mind that will play in your subconscious and lead to action.
That's a wonderful example. And that's another topic we often heard from these days is about the input, because you mentioned you've been to different parties, or you have seen different DJs playing, so you gain some experience or ideas. But compared to the latest generation, you know, a lot of people, youngsters, they are learning music from perhaps on YouTube or even only from TikTok. So a lot of information are too fragmentized, and you know, it's everywhere basically. It's hard to let us to really pick good sound and music to be listened with. And what would you recommend to some new DJs or new producers in Hong Kong when we have such a situation? Where can we begin with? We don't know much DJs from our surrounding perhaps. So if I'm just completely new, how can I begin?
I would say first, get really familiar and honest with yourself about what moves you. Like, what type of sound, what frequency, so on, all of that. I mean, if you can, like, for example, you have a favorite track that you just listen to and it makes you feel good, and then you kind of want to follow that path. Only don't go the path of this is the top 100 thing, because that's going to happen regardless. But if you want to stand out, you should just be yourself. And how do you be yourself? Very simple. You choose what moves you. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to move everybody, but if it moves you, it's going to move somebody else too. So I would say start there. As far as technical proficiency, there's many tutorials you can take on how to beat match, but I would say start with vinyl. Like, get involved in maybe collecting. You don't have to have thousands of records, but have the records you love on vinyl and learn how to play them. and then learn how to play them against everything else that you have, and then go into digital. But I would say first start with what moves you, maybe find an artist or two, or a label or two, and do a deep dive. Just go exploring and look for things that are interesting to you. Doesn't matter how different they are, it doesn't have to be house or techno, just as long as it gives you a feeling. And then go down that rabbit hole, and then figure out how to put all these different things together and tell a story with it. Because it's your story. And I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah, thank you for your sharing to us. And I would like to also ask about, you were mentioning you listening to house and a little bit of hip hop at a period of time, which is interesting because for some beginners, their homework is to listen more music and listen to the heart. But for some DJ or producers who started for a while already, they might struggle a little bit with different genres or which direction they want to go. And how would you break through this creative block or gain some new insights to tackle when you have certain creative block or a bit frustrated with if I want to carry on my production, like what is my path, you know? So like what is my music style that I should stay focused with? I heard some people might have this kind of struggle.
I totally understand, and I would say for that, honestly, I would look at it from a very personal point of view. For example, okay, I wouldn't pick a genre. I wouldn't. No matter what's going on, I would try to find my music. What language can I speak? And then you go about the process of figuring that out. And you can only do that by listening and actually doing. Like, okay, let's say you're a hip hop producer. I know a lot of hip hop producers who went into playing electronic music, so it's not a huge leap. It's just a matter of perspective. If you really just stick to the things that you like, the things that make you feel good, the things that actually talk to you, then when you go into on the production level, let's say it's various things, like a few different things. Allow them to melt together. And that could sound like chaos, or it can be beauty, but you won't know until you put yourself in it and see if you see your reflection in that. You have to experiment it. It's a bit of a science of your own mind, because you're trying to take a language that only you know within yourself and share it with everyone else who can't speak it. They can only understand as clearly as you can describe, and that is your skill level, and that comes from only being true to yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a reflective way, like you're trying to, I don't know how to say it without it sounding crazy, but you're trying to share your emotive, okay, I hate to go there. I'm going to probe myself.
Yeah.
You're sharing your emotive vibration with everybody else. That's basically what you're doing. And how you do that is, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be like hyper detailed. It just has to be really you. And you only get that through experimentation and trying things. So don't pick a genre, don't necessarily pick a path. Go about the business of understanding yourself and uncovering or taking away the clay to reveal the artist. And you will find that as you go through the process. In the beginning, if you don't know anything about production or DJing, it'll be tedious. But if you really love it, it won't feel like work. You'll spend a lot of hours at it, and then eventually you'll have your aha moment where it's like, oh, I really can do this, and then you'll continue to reflect.
Yeah, I think we can know more about ourselves through DJing sometimes. Like what you said, it's a very personal approach to become a DJ and a producer. If you choose in that direction, then it's very honest to your own self, right? You have to be very clear with what kind of sounds or the message that you want to put in your set. Actually, I also shared a friend about a similar point of view recently. We feel that we know more about ourselves through DJing, and then gradually we know our audience from DJing, and then after a while we come back to our self again, like many thousand times of DJing. You started to realize the relationship between you yourself and your audience will gradually blend together. I'm not sure to understand my feeling. Like you understand yourself through your own music and your own library, and then you play your music to the audience. You understand more what audience wants, what does the world need from your music. But then after that, you back to your own self again and try to show the world that you're the most precise voice from yourself to the audience.
Yes. Okay. I have a point of view about that. Eventually, at some point, you become the music you perpetuate. In the beginning, you are basically you're playing the music for people. You're not actually it. It's like you are playing it for them and they hear it and the whole nine yards. The electricity doesn't necessarily come from the act of playing it. It's more about how you feel while you're playing. So in the beginning, very self-conscious. I told you, like, I was playing Flores in the beginning. Super self-conscious. It was more about me and me serving it. And when I got to the point where I took myself from, like, when I took my ego out of it and I allowed the music to have its way, and that's when I started connecting with crowds. And you can only do that when you become the music that you're playing. Like, you literally become it. Like, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just know because it's there and you've done your homework and you're organized. So you can just play on impulse and respond to the energy in the room. And the music kind of does it itself. If you are 150% honest about what you're playing. I mean, I know for a fact that in my experience, when I plan a set, it never works. It's probably the most counterintuitive thing I know I can do. So I don't. The thing that I do in advance is my ears are always open for the music that touches me. The minute I hear it, I grab it, I go get it, whatever the case may be. And I'll listen to it. I'll understand why it moves me first. Like, man, what is it about this? Like, is it the story? Is it the melody? Is it the technical skill that went into that solo? Or is that? But whatever it is, it becomes a part of what I want to say. And what I want to say is the same thing I've said from the beginning of my career. It's always the same thing. It's peace, love, unity, and having fun, and trying to raise our level of vibration to a more positive state. And when the music reflects that, everything that I'm looking for reflects that, then, and this is what I want to perpetuate, then the music that I play, I become it. It is a part of me because all my intention is in it, all my energy is in it. I don't have to think once I get there, I just get there, establish a rapport with the crowd. Like, I see you, you see me. And then the rest is up to the music. The music has its way when it's right. A lot goes into it being right. Like, for example, if you're not having such a great day and you get to the club and the energy is slightly off, that can not be a questionable night. However, the opposite is true. You can have a bad day, go to the club, and like 2 minutes later, you're having the best night in the world. So, but I mean, this comes from taking this. Whoa, man, this is gonna sound a little insane, but like, it really comes from like erasing the ego and becoming a sponge for the things that move you, and then being able to be of service of that thing for others.
Wow, this is very insightful, to be honest, because I think it's easy to understand about the concept, but actually to feel all the parts with what you mentioned, to really fully experience it, takes a lot of time to accumulate this kind of the way of thinking, I would say, because it's hard for a new artist to establish that thinking. But anyway, I think that's my further question is how can you carry on such mentality, because it's not easy, right? It sounds like a marathon in your mind to keep up your enthusiasm to music, and you have to take a lot of new music to carry on this for a lot of years and with years of practice in order to play in the tour. So can you share your exactly tips, but how can you maintain this consistency or perseverance in music?
Hopelessly in love with music. It's a real relationship, like any other relationship. It's just a substance that I can't like physically touch, but I can physically touch with it. So it's like, you know, if you love something, you never work a day in your life. So my whole how I became consistent and maybe I guess prolific is that I'm hopelessly in love with music. I want to make it, play it, figure out new ways of making it, new ways of playing it, and sharing it with people, hopefully to inspire them to find new ways to make and play it so they can re-inspire me to find new ways to make and play it, because you can't keep the ball rolling just, you know, with just one point of view. It takes many points of view, and the culture of, let's say, for example, underground dance music, be it house techno or any other subgenre of it, it's all the same ingredients. You have to have a desire, love, and a passion. I've loved music ever since I was a child, and it's because of my parents. And how I ended up here, purely by the cosmos, because I definitely didn't have a plan. I mean, I was doing production for years before I ever went anywhere, and like I did countless demos when I was doing hip-hop production. I got my education in production from doing that, and it was like for free. I'm like doing this on my own because I'm trying to figure out something about myself and why I have this desire to do it. Years later, come to find out, I'm in a service position. I'm here to serve people. This is my purpose, to do this in the earth. So if that is the case, and if you can find a degree of that in anything, doesn't necessarily have to be being a musician or DJ. If you can find that, then whatever goal you might have on the other side of it, you will obtain a degree of it, depending on how devoted you are to it.
Yeah, I really like the word you use, surface, to describe it, because you outline like how can we see what we should be playing our role when we play as a DJ. So I really feel like it's a service too. And before we have this music sharing session later, I have one more questions. So I think a lot of people, they are exploring when they are making of the production. So they need to know how to publish it, or like find their ways to feature in different gigs. And what is your recommendations to some of our audience? Like what would you recommend them to do if they want to share their music, like what you said, or they're in a production phase, like I'm making a new beat, but perhaps I'm kind of scared to share to my friends. So how can we break through this emotion block?
Okay, I totally get where you're coming from, 150%. And this is very important. And goes back to what I was saying earlier about the ego. Like, ego is important, you have to have it. But we're talking about fight or flight. When you are talking about abstractions and creative things, the ego should sit down, have a sandwich, chill out, and wait for it when it needs to come to the front line. Because you have to be super malleable, almost like a sponge, but be able to expand like jelly. You know, you kind of have to have that. Your brain elasticity has to be like really good, because the thing is, okay, these days it's very, very, very different, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. Very different from when I came on board. When I came on board, the thing to do is to be a record producer, like actually produce records. Now, that still exists today, but it isn't how the mass population consumes music. It's a much smaller percentage of people that consume music through vinyl. It's mostly streaming and digital means and stuff like that. So if I were starting today, what I would do is I would clearly have an understanding of, first, what it is I want to share. Now, if I wanted to share like a DJ mix, that you have to be realistic. There's millions, if not billions, of those out there, and unless you know all those millions of billions of people, there's a small percentage of people that might partake, and you don't know the intention they might partake, because everything is digital now, and there are a bunch of apps made to dissect these things. The intention might not be to listen, but just to like research and grab resources from that mix. Then on the production end of it, it's the same number of people, except what you want from them is to actually listen, maybe give feedback. And that's probably one of the most difficult things to do today, because, I don't know, maybe, I couldn't even give you an accurate number, but I know the number's ridiculous, so the amount of tracks that come out per day digitally. So I would say maybe not approach it like, I want to put out a record, I want to put out a mix. Maybe approach it from the point of view of, I'm a person, I have this desire, I want to connect with people that might understand it. How would I do that with today's tech? So, what is the thing? Most people use TikTok, but they use TikTok in a commercial way that's pretty corny. I think most people recognize that. But let's say you approach it from an honest place, and it could be a ballad, it could be the darkest techno rumbler, it can be a disco song, it can be a poem, it could be anything. If it's 100% you, honest, not pretentious, and you offer it, and then you step back and you wait, you will start to develop. It could be short, it could be long, but over a period of time, you will start to develop like-minded people following your point of view, because something about your point of view resonates with their point of view. And those are the people you want to talk to. You don't want to chase this crowd, that crowd. You don't want to try to fit in with this group, that group. Trust me, you don't want to do that. You want to go where the arms are open for you, and your music will tell you that.
Yeah. Our arms are always open for you too, Fred. Yeah. Thank you very much, Fred. We brought a little bit of records. So right now we would like to share some of the music. Perhaps Andy, could you share?
We actually have the records down there.
Yeah. Okay. So Andy, could you?
Yeah. Let me get the reach bag.
Yeah, we've got a rich tote bag as well. It's coming soon to the public.
Why don't you carry on talking while I find a record?
Sure. I actually have another question about technology.
Sure.
Yeah, because it has been a big topic to everywhere, I guess, internationally, and especially AI, basically. And do you consider this is a threat to like the entire music industry, or it will be heavily affecting the process in making music? Because nowadays the automatic DJ software they can mix, and it seems the technology is kind of diminishing the value of DJing. Partially diminishing, but at the same time, a lot of people, like a whole new generation, because of technology, they get into this DJ world. So, instead of saying it's a threat, or maybe it could be a leverage. Let's say. So, what is your opinion towards AI?
Well, okay. I'll preface it with this. I'm pro technology. I'm not anti-technology. When it comes down to music and artificial intelligence, I think people will prefer music made by other people. I think that's always going to win because, and granted, I've listened to a lot of AI music, and it's crazy how good it is. But sharing music amongst other people is like sharing a letter. Like you're sending a letter to someone. Like someone took the time to sit down and write this letter and put their feelings into it in a cohesive way that you can understand. And that's always appreciated by the person who receives that message. Always, because like, who sits and writes letters these days? I don't know anybody who actually writes anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So, it's similar to that. Yeah. Now, on the commercial level, AI music is going to facilitate a lot of different things. That might change scoring for a lot of things. That might change commercials. That it's definitely going to change elevator music. No question about it. You know. But these are companies cutting costs and looking at the bottom line for their shareholders. So in that regard, it makes sense. Not necessarily our culture and what we deal with. I don't think that the people who come to check us are necessarily looking for that. So I don't think it's going to really affect people who enjoy the experience of the unpredictable abstraction of human expression. I don't think that's going to change, but what I think will change though is what commercial radio sounds like, and commercials, and maybe even movie trailers and things like that. That might change for sure, because I know there's a lot of that out there already that they're not even telling us about. But I don't think technology is a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. In fact, there's never been a better time in the history of the planet to get involved with any form of music, let alone electronic music. Now, there's a good side and a bad side to that. Good side is if you're serious about it, your heart's really in it, and you are really going for it, you'll definitely get somewhere. The bad side of it is not so many people are honest about that, so you get a lot of noise. So if you can last through the noise, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, thank you. I think technology, right, is just a tool. It really depends on who and how you're using it, right?
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing. Original, genuine inspiration is something AI cannot do, or at least not yet. So, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about the ego. If you can just like sit it in the corner for a second, you get a bunch of genuine inspiration because you revert to like being like a child and just, you know, coloring with crayons on a blank palette. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. AI can't do that. It can only imitate what's happened and take the best parts of what already happened. But an artist, musician, DJ, whatever your discipline may be, can bring a new thing into existence. But what that thing is and how it resonates with people is how honest you can get with yourself.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Fred. It was very a lot of knowledge and insights to us. Let's have a little break and we're going to share about records from Andy. Please.
Played by Fred Eaton.
Oh God, that's crazy. Fred Eaton track. Wow.
Do you want to bring a chair or so that?
Oh, no. Man, this one got a lot of money.
This is probably my favourite.
I think I put this in every set this past summer. Yeah. I'm just very super nostalgic for something.
Yeah.
Every set was like crazy emotional. Labyrinth, oh, forget about it. I felt the pieces. Because I haven't seen those guys in like 13 years. Yeah, it was crazy. So, yeah, this was like, this was second to last track. Last game with it was dope. It was really dope.
Go ahead. I just turned it. I'll see. Just turn off the mic.
It's alright, we're live on IG.
Yeah,
So.
it's okay. Yeah.
I still remember the first time I played this track. I still remember getting this track the first time I played it. Yeah, I played it like 4 times in a row.
Oh man.
In my old house in London, I can remember. It was one of those tracks.
It's crazy because for a lot of years I've never played this. A lot. I mean, oh my goodness. The last time I think I played this before I started playing it again more recently was at Labyrinth.
Wow.
Wow. So now I've been kind of like just pulling this out and man, all that memory.
Yeah.
And get it in front of people too, it's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. build it.
Yeah, last time I filled only last for an hour and a half. I totally forgot one time.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
I like the long players, like the really long tracks. Like anything past 9 minutes, I'm there for it. But I mean, it only works on me. That kind of work.
Yeah, for sure.
I always like your opening track. It's not so. I mean, for all your different DJ sets, your first few tracks are always outlining your journey.
Yeah, when it started.
Already bringing us to your journey.
Thoughtful in
yeah.
starting the journey.
I definitely don't plan it. Then it's the room, really.
Yeah,
yeah.
The room decides.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the nice part about it, because when you kind of get that early, if you can get it in 2 or 3 tracks, that's the best, because then the rest kind of informs itself. I mean, sometimes it goes that way, sometimes it's hour in, and then it was kind of like that at Leverage. Like the last hour was the magic hour. But there were a lot of nice little waves in the working up to that.
Yeah.
And your level of senses must be very high vibrated, otherwise you can't really feel the space, right? So you can smell or you can read the atmosphere of the room, feel the touch from the decoration.
It would, I mean, it becomes electric. It's like, I mean, I don't know if there is an actual word that describes what that is. And I think that's what makes the culture so special. You have to participate, be there to actually understand what that is. And if you experience it once, then you always want to go on that journey, because it's like you get into yourself, but then you recognize that people that are partying with you are more like you than you originally thought. So you're not alone at all. You know, and that's the beauty of it. You know, you can't. This is something innate to just what this language does. You know? And it's a gift, in my opinion, because communication is difficult. When you take it out of this field and you have to do it with words, and if you don't know the right words, misunderstanding someone, there's no misunderstanding that. You can hold dance to this. And then we can go into something else, and then into something else, and expand the story. I think it's probably, well, I'm getting goosebumps. It's probably one of the more beautiful things that humanity gets to choose to explore. I mean, I wouldn't say everybody can be a musician. Some people are better doctors than musicians. Some people are better architects than DJs. Some people are suited to do things but can appreciate this thing wholeheartedly. And then you flip it the other way. Most DJs and artists aren't suited to do anything else in life. And that's true. I'm proof of that. So it's like a beautiful way of humanity to cross lines that wouldn't normally cross.
I recently learned something about how you use your gift or your talents. Like you have to 100% using it, because if you are kind of designed to be good at music or good at architecture, so you should really just focus on it. Don't alter your path, because like if you know what you're good at, then you spend half of your real time on something else, and then you spend another half year to read about doing it, that would be a tragedy, right? So
Absolutely.
if you can sense your gift or talent, then you really should just go all the way.
100%. I mean, it's a hard. It might be difficult, but that builds character and it brings the true you out going through that journey. But I would say that it's hard because, yeah, man, we live in a world that's kind of already set up. Like, you pick this path, you get this number at the end of this path, right? Now, when you choose art, there's no number at the end of that path. So you're taking a chance, man, and it's hard. But you're gonna find out if it's for you because you go and do it anyway, not knowing. That's what happened to me. I had no clue. I was, again, planning to settle into a life of mediocrity. And what I mean by that is doing something I don't want to live and survive. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. And you go in the other way, the other direction of evolution. You're going to do that. So it's like, I'll take a chance. If anything, it's going to be interesting. And it has been very interesting.
It's a long life adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an adventure.
Yes.
And then also, you need to use a lot of time to feel it, to go through it.
But it's totally worth it. I mean, it's totally worth it, 100%. Because if I had gone in the other direction, there would be no story to tell. There would be no, like, I strongly believe that energy is like a circle, and what you put in is what you get out. And I do this naturally. I was doing this for no money before a record ever came out. I was already doing it. So when I did it and records started to come out, all of that for free stuff caught up with the record. That energy caught up with the record. So there was a number for me at one point, and that number was based on how honest I could be with myself to make something like this and to continue to make stuff like this as I evolve. Whether it is good as this or not, still keep that, right? And in the midst of all of that, a career happens. But my thinking isn't, I'm going to do this so the career can happen. It's like, no, I have to do this. And like, if I don't do this, I'm going to lose my mind or end up in the newspapers or somewhere crazy. So I have to do it. This is where the cosmic part comes from, because where did that drive to damn near self-destruction come from? But it led to this. And I don't know how many people were touched by this.
I'd say a lot.
So, yeah, man, service position. I'm here to serve.
And I think you can leave the mic on.
Hello, we are back, and thanks for the record shared by Andy. Andy, would you like to say a few words about why you picked this record for us?
Yeah, this is my favourite Berkeley track. I can still remember the first time I received it, the first time I played it. In fact, I played it 4 or 5 times in a row. Fred, can you tell us a little bit about the track, how you made it, what inspired you?
Man, I'll tell you, sure. Emotive Vibrations originally came out on a compilation the first time, because this version is a reissue with another long player on the other side, or finale sessions. But how the track came about, I was living in Queens at the time, at a very low point. I mean, low point. And my man Mike Zucker, may he rest in peace, reached out to me. And was like, hey man, I'm doing this compilation. Do you have something going? You might want to consider it, because we had worked together prior to that, before that. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a good time to do something. And I don't know, it happened all in one go. It wasn't like I needed to take a break or anything, because usually that's what I do when I'm writing. If I'm at it like maybe 4 hours in, I'll stop to give my ears a rest, listen back to what I did to get some perspective, make sure I'm not going in a direction I don't want to go, and see what I have. But when it came to this record in particular, I did it all in one shot. And it came out like that. But I was lamenting on what I was going through. So this is why it has that melancholic thing going, and then it's got like this psychedelic reverse solo in it, because that's what I felt like. And I mean, seriously, it was just my life experience, and it was me emoting that particular vibration. It just so happens people really like what that sounds like.
And you said earlier you've been playing it out a lot more this summer.
Yeah, I've been very nostalgic. This summer, actually for the last couple of years, I've been playing like a lot of accessible music from when I used to go out and dance in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I just wanted to hear all of that stuff on the system. And oddly enough, my own music, which I rarely play, fit into that without me even having that notion. It's just, yeah, play this now. And it works. Because it's my story, it's my journey. I'm sharing it with people because the last thing I want to do is attempt to hide. You know, I don't want to do that. And I think I've been able to stomach my own embarrassment by just keeping it real with people, you know? And by playing Emotive Vibration, this summer in particular, yeah, it was very emotional. There were tears a lot of the times, and but it was very verifying and healing to do so. So I think I will be playing Emotive Vibrations for the rest of my life. For real.
That's good news.
I mean, not only that, but I mean, a lot of people really like that track. So it'll be my honor to play it for them.
Yeah. And what a great label Finale Sessions was as well.
Yeah. Oh man, Finale had one of the craziest runs. I mean, that catalog grew overnight. And I got a bunch of friends on that label, man. I mean, it was devastating that Mike passed, because he did a lot of good work, and he was really starting to make real inroads, and then untimely he passed. So, rest in peace to the great Mike Zucker.
Have you got any music you want to share with us, He-Man?
I was going to ask yours first, and
Let's
then
do
I
this
can
one first.
share mine.
Oh man, that's the joint.
Not a folk track.
But this is classic right here.
Yeah.
Classic.
And Rory's a super great guy as well.
Oh man, Roy is tearing it down. Tearing it down. He was the guy who brought me to Galway.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
brought me to Galway a couple of times actually. Man.
Yeah. We always had some good fun with Maureen.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I kind of reconnect with homie because he's putting out music.
Yeah, doing really well.
This track in particular, to me, it's like the evolution of the early 90s underground stuff. Like the really stripped back minimal stuff.
Yeah.
He like captured it. This is what I mean by like finding like Rory is this.
Yeah.
He's that. Wow. You know what I mean? And this is exactly what I look for.
Deeper than deep. Really minimal.
It took his time getting there. Look how far in here.
Yeah.
I mean, every label I love because there's history involved, but Boards is the most interesting and has the most favorites of mine. This is one of them. Is another one by my man Jordan.
Yeah.
That he showed up big time. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, the Jordan one, the October one.
Another crazy.
I never pronounce his name right, but Lapien.
Exactly.
Amazing stuff. Really amazing.
We just did an album.
Really?
You might dig it. Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy. Yeah, and it's a good one. It's multi, but trust the joints. Like for example, we finished the last track. The day before I played Panorama, I played it in Panorama. All this multi. Crazy stuff, man. I mean, it's a good album, really good album. You can listen. It's a short listen. It's like maybe 30, 40 minutes.
Nice, yeah.
It will fit on one piece of vinyl.
Wow.
Multi-genre, but plenty of 4/4 to go in there.
Yeah, nice.
And it's a story from beginning to end. I promise you have to listen.
Amazing.
Can I have?
You have to listen. You both have to listen to it.
But I mean, the combination, Fred P and Lapien together.
Oh no, he's my oldest friend. He's like the second guy I met. The first week I was there. The second guy I met. First guy was T-Bo Howard, and then second guy was Lapien. Still friends. We was roommates for a bunch of years too.
He's another guy whose every production is just top level.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
A very good guy. Good friend. Oh man, the October record was particularly crazy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people at that record. And that was right around the time that Levon was going crazy. So like, you put those two together.
Yeah.
I mean, techno was different. It was like more creative. Not so much about loud, more about tripping out. And the music reflected that.
It was slower, it was a bit deeper, it was still banging, but it was groovy, yeah.
And there was a certain amount of patience involved. They were, like, artists were way more restrained about it.
Yeah.
Like now it's just, how loud and fast can you go? Like, can you go faster?
It's not fast enough.
Exactly that. I mean, it's cool, but I like this.
Yeah.
I think we can talk a bit of what we just discussed when we have the mic again.
Sure.
Before we.
I think you can just leave the mic on next time.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, but this track now is deep, super submerged, man. That bass. It sounds like something bouncing.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got to that. then that, it sounds like pool balls.
Yeah, it probably is. No Rory, it probably is.
I think we should just turn on the mic.
Yeah, just turn it.
Turn it on.
This is an organic, submerged sound.
Yeah.
That works so well. Go to a Debbie kind of thing. You can even go into vocals.
Yeah.
Like Blue 7 with this.
Yeah. What a great label as well. What a great label.
Boys. That was a experience.
Luckily you didn't do, how many did you do? 12? 12
Boys?
releases? 11 or 12?
I think we got up to 9, but you have to include selected in that.
Right.
So that would be like 10.
Yeah. Well, it's a good job you didn't do any more because you saved me money.
Oh no, no, this
It's the only label I've got every single one.
nice one. I mean, the way I look at it, it's like catalogs.
Yeah.
You know, like this was my first attempt at releasing other artists where I'm not a focus.
Yeah.
And it worked out because we got it all the way up to 10, which was good.
Did you have any input at all into the production or anything, or did you literally just say, guys, give me some good music?
Every person I asked to get down brought their own music, and I already knew that it was going to be good. Like Jordan, I've known since forever. We've been like forever. So, and we worked together in the studio. We had a couple other records together actually. So I didn't have to worry about that. Rapping, again, we were roommates. I didn't have to worry about that. Rory, I knew Rory was dope. Didn't have to worry about that. October met him at Free Rotation.
Oh, really?
So I know he was dope. So and then I've been to Bristol a couple times and we hung out more. So it's like everybody that came and showed up, they all showed up. I didn't have to do any real A&R at all. I just needed to submit it, make sure everything was right, the DBs and all that, and the rest is history. But this was a good time in general. This whole voice period.
This was the best time. It was such a nice time.
I mean, at that time, I was between New York and Berlin a lot. And the sound in New York was changing. And this kind of moved through there like, yeah, you're not ready for this. It was cool. It was a good time. I mean, both in music and life, it was a good time. I mean, you can mix anything with it and it's gonna sound good.
Yeah.
It's just really just, I couldn't ask for better.
Again, I remember receiving this one, listening to it the first time, thinking, oh my god, I don't think I've ever heard anything so deep. It's just depth.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, okay, the beauty of deep music is that it takes the listener somewhere completely different, you know? And when you put like a set of that together thoughtfully, oh man, somebody might hug you at the end of it. Because it's like a release, you know? It's a beautiful thing.
Great record, Rory. Good stuff.
I gotta ask him how if those are pool balls. I'm gonna ask him.
He'd have been in the pub, in
Seriously?
Galway, like playing ball, playing snooker.
It sounds like a cute hit, like smacking it hard.
It's really cool that you have this imagination and it's so fit.
It's a very organic record. It's just like, okay, you put it into an electronic environment, but everything sounds like it's fluid. That's a beautiful thing. and then he throws these crazy chords in there, a little vocal. It's my favorite thing. It's like the music I look for. And he's one of the few people that makes it.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about your stuff too, because you got some joints in there, man. I want to talk to you about some stuff, but we can do
We'll
that
talk about
later.
them later.
Yeah.
I've got some more plans.
I'm looking forward to it.
Beautiful. Great.
Great. Can you share a little bit of the info of the tracks to our audience? And can you tell?
Yeah, so this was released on a label called Boards, which was one of Fred's labels. When did this come out, Fred? This must have been 2013, around that time.
And I dare to say that, yes.
A label which is solely other artists. I think there's a couple of Fred P remixes.
There's one Fred P EP and one Fred P split. That's it.
Yeah.
And then a compilation. That's it.
Yeah. Every single release, banging. Absolutely banging. Super good.
During we were listening to the vinyl, we talk about deep house or deep sounds. Would you share again what deep house? How do you feel a good deep house should be like? Any elements or any things that makes you feel you like that deep house? This is a very broad term to a lot of I would call them youngsters or new listeners.
Well, I would say, first and foremost, and this is just my point of view, I'm speaking for me, but I believe that deep house music is a music of the people, especially the people who love it, that actually make it. They make it for the people. So it doesn't have to be the most pristine, perfect thing. It just has to be real. That's it. It has to be real. And how we were describing this particular record is because there are organic elements in it. Like, for example, what would be taken as a snare sound like a pool ball smacking into another pool ball. And it's just ridiculously dope how that sounds in a record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's what deep house is. The unexpected abstraction that sounds really good.
So create an imagination aspect in your mind.
Absolutely. You can create a world out of that. And that's what Barry did on this particular record.
Yeah, thank you. And also we would also discuss about like when you play your set, you don't really plan it, right? So sometimes you feel it from the room or from the decoration. And do you feel this is more like it's only for the natural born people, very strong instinct people, or actually everyone can at some point they can understand that through practicing?
Okay, I understand what you mean. It's a little bit of both. I mean, okay, you get your 10,000 hours so you can activate muscle memory, and that's important because then you are not having any anxiety for how to present a thing through a mixer, turntable, or CDJs. Once you are free of that, then the only other thing you need to be is organized. That's it. So if you are listening to the music that you buy, make, or perpetuate from friends or anything like that, you know what it is, and you've selected what is for you, then how that will go down in a club is really going to be up to, or a club or any space really. I won't go so far to say festival because that's a whole different deal, but what I'll say is in a club where people's intention is to celebrate their life, basically, then the only thing that you would need to do is open yourself to that. And then the rest will work itself out because you know where everything is, you know how to work the rig. Then it's really what is the energy in the room and how are you linking up with that.
Thank you very much. I really learned from you and your play. I feel you know your track very well, and like all your tracks are your friend or your. Okay, in my generation, the metaphor would be Pokemon card. You know all your cards very well. You know when to place the card at the exact timing. You know, so it's just very a lot of work to do to organize your tracks, right? To organize and understand your music, and then you can spontaneously feel it when to play, which is the next track. I think that's really take a lot of time to learn, but also a good like a goal to a lot of DJs, like including me. I'm also learning to organize my library, try to understand my tracks more as well, try to dig deeper and understand the sound. So it was really inspirational when I listened to your set last time in Hong Kong, like trusting your next track, which is that mentality was so strong. I could feel it on the dance floor. And I have another song I want to share with you. It's not exactly a deep house, but it's from Kerry Chandler. So I approached music because of learning violin, and I spent so much time in understanding classical music and stuff like that until at the point during a secondary school. So I know there's another world from classical world finally. And then at some point during my college life, I find this track is very crazy to me because I was starting my DJ career, so I play a lot of house music, and a lot of people do some violin house remix, you know, that kind of Ferrari with weird techno-ish drum 4/4 beats behind. But this is a very good track combined with the sound and violin. I want to share with you. And that really inspires me that violin is just an instrument. It's not something that I have to consider only to play classical music. There's a big world behind.
Have you ever played with Kerry?
No. I've never played with Kerry. There's a lot of people I haven't played with. I mean, I don't know. I don't hear it like that. That's the thing. I mean, I'm sure if I did, I'd probably would have. But I'm like, I love this one. I'm like a service. I'm like a servant. So it's like I go where I'm called.
Yeah.
So you don't have to dance something. Seriously, this is one of my favorites.
This is a He-Man track. This is one of the tracks I would always put He-Man.
I mean, this song is, I feel like I met a new friend who I should have met earlier, but I finally see him.
Nice.
The best combination of two of my favorite things. Wow.
I guess the IG Live can't really hear it, but you should introduce it. You should tell them the track name.
Oh, sure. So actually, I have a folder called Violin. I play every house music with good violin sound into it. So I'm building up this library. We're building up this playlist, so you are currently listening to this track. Yeah. And I actually tried to look up who was the pianist, and I find she's teaching in New York studio. Yeah, she's still doing this recording for different musicians.
Yeah, okay, you're gonna start dancing.
Great track.
Carrie is something special. It's like no one sounds like her. You know, I mean, there's a whole entire generation copying what he's done.
Yeah.
But no one sounds like her.
He's a pioneer, right? And everyone's still trying to learn from him.
Yeah, no question. No question. But I mean, he did something that very few have been able to accomplish.
Yeah.
Like really, okay, you have Larry Heard, who made house music deep, but then Carrie gave it all of this.
I got what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Period. And I mean, I love Larry Heard. Like, come on, man. You hear the chords that I use. I love Larry Heard. Everything he does is like college for me. But all the swing came from Carrie, though. He just put that secret sauce on it, man. You know?
Exactly. Secret sauce, like what you said.
Yeah, man.
What's your favourite Carrie track?
Oh.
Or just too many?
You know, there are a ton of.
It's like someone saying to me, what's your favourite Freddie track?
Lost in Paradise.
Oh, yeah?
Because there's the vocal, the guitar, and what he's talking about pulls at your heartstrings. Because it's a love song that you can dance to.
Yeah.
It's crazy. How do you dance to love songs besides slow jamming, you know? But he made a danceable love song with this beautiful guitar. And I mean, it makes you feel good, and then it makes you feel romantic at the same time.
Yeah.
That's great for a dance floor, you know? I mean, he does that all the time. It's crazy.
A great music should be able to interchange the feeling, right? Oh. Yeah, we're back online again. Yeah, I was saying a good music group is a message that can interchange our emotions. You know? It's two directions. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
And, I mean, this Carrie track is really inspiring to me. I didn't know that violin can combine with house music that way, you know.
So how many tracks have you got in your violin folder now?
I'm very harsh on that. I only pick 5
Too
for now.
harsh.
Yeah, I should. I shouldn't be too picky.
Five's okay.
Five's okay, right? I mean, quality over quantity.
Exactly. Quality over quantity. Exactly.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned from organizing my music, honestly. Like, I really dedicating to the track, try to feel am I having any connection with it. I have to feel I really like it.
Yeah.
So it took me some time to develop my own way to organize too.
Yeah.
Learning from a lot of masters like you guys to do my library.
Well, I will say this. The digital library deal, one, I think is great because it allowed me to have a lot of records that I didn't have a chance to get. It allows me to carry more records than I ever could with a record bag. but file management is difficult.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it's like with records, for example, you see it, you don't necessarily have to know the name of it. You know where it is, you know what it looks like, you know what it sounds like, da-da-da. Files, when you take this away from it, it's a mystery. Mm-hmm. Unless you go through everything all the time. Yeah. And I'm realizing, like, man, okay, it's true, you do have to stay ahead in the sense where you're not living in the past and only playing the past. I mean, yeah, it's great to make statements and all that good stuff, and I don't like the word educate. I like the word I would say presenting, offering, because people will learn on their own without judgment if you just give it to them. Just here, you know? So I would say, like, when it comes to digital vinyl relationship, I think we're on a precipice. I'm trying to not say too much, but I will say this: we're on a precipice of where this and this get real close, and it works out.
Yeah.
So that way, maybe we'll inspire some of the folks that just do digital to do some of this, and some of the folks that just do this to do some of the digital. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
How do you remember your tracks? Do you remember them? Are you a guy that remembers all the track names, or are you someone like me who really struggles with names? I need labels, I need covers. Some I remember from the colour of the label, some I remember because they're a green vinyl with a pink case.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Because, yeah, like I can do visual recognition with records, but I cannot do that with like files. For example, I'm actively interacting with 6,000 tracks, actively, but I couldn't tell you the names of all 6,000 tracks, and I couldn't identify it without actually physically going in and doing this. So, okay, I'm going to end up saying too much, so I'm going to just leave it at this. We're working on bringing these words together. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Let's put another track on.
Yeah.
We have to play this.
Oh man.
It's like a theme tune.
This was the sleeper track. Seriously, because I had no idea anyone would actually be into this. Because again, I'm a long player, minimal, and the question is, what are you reaching for? Thus, reach. So reach for something. Reach for your passion, reach for your love, reach for your own sanity. Reach for something.
Do you usually have this idea before you make the music, or you having it during the music, or it doesn't matter, it really depends?
It comes out of something. Like, I will give you reach happened all in the moment. And I knew what reach meant when it came out of my mouth. It's exactly that. It's like reach for passion, reach for love, reach for yourself, reach for something. All coming from life experience. Like, at this point, I'm rolling. I'm in the ecosystem, and I'm reaching for something. And that is to not just be heard, but have my attention for it, because this is a love thing, it's a passion thing, it's an inspiration thing. So I induce these ideas of, I don't want to sound crazy, but not too late.
You can.
It's like I introduce these ideas where it's not just, okay, we're going to go out and dance, but like, what's going to assist you on Monday morning when you go to work? that kind of thing. So because we can have both, man. We can have a good time and still inspire one another to evolve our lives into a space where this vibe is with us all the time. We live in this vibe.
Yeah.
We move through earth in this vibe.
Yeah.
And it makes everything better around us. It's like a garden that grows around you wherever you walk.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
So many rabbit holes, man.
So Fred P's in the studio, and how does a track like this start? It starts with the word reach, or starts with a drum pattern, or
It started with that. Cut. It started there. And then the bass line.
yeah,
I remember this day clearly. Yeah, it was the little snare on the bass. And once the bass got rolling, reach came.
yeah,
Then there was the idea of, okay, I'm gonna go in the other direction. Everything prior to this was all chorded up.
Yeah.
Like every record,
Yeah.
different chords. And so I want to just do something other than that serves the point, which is reach and chorus, something. So it was the arpeggiated one chord, arpeggiated, and then freak it a little bit, let it build, and come back. The imagery in my mind is this working and running go.
okay,
So that's the bass.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, when that place goes off, everybody gets it all at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just my feeling to this one. Honestly, another good label. Another good
yeah,
label.
really,
a lot of
really
cool
good,
stuff on that.
really good label.
The guy he does Esperanza label as well, what I
Yeah.
did on this vibe.
Yeah,
So and we worked together a lot over the years. I mean, between us, we're doing EPs for one another. And in the end, he does an album for, it was like the last release on Soul People Music. It was Jose's album.
yeah. On this vibe's another super good one.
You know, a lot of people hated that record.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not prototypical deep house. You know,
Okay.
like prototypical deep house has all of the motifs that you are used to.
Yeah,
And that song didn't.
yeah,
The only thing it had was a lo-fi element that was reminiscent of listening to house music on the radio. And that's
okay,
it.
yeah,
You know? I mean, which would have been the snares and all of that. But yeah, a lot of people, at least from our hometown, a lot of people didn't like it. But everywhere else did.
I think, yeah, I mean, London, it was such a good track. I remember places like Secret Sundays, it was a staple. Both sides. Patrice things.
Yeah, Patrice went crazy on it.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing of it is at that time, and I think we're at that point again, actually, in house music, is where the sound was going from one frequency to another. And it is not as if we all can't coexist, but when a new sound come along, it definitely does take the front for a minute,
yeah,
because the people are pulling it to the front.
yeah,
And during this time, it wasn't just me. It was me, Patrice. Gotta give it up to Levi. He was doing his thing, man. Like, seriously doing his thing. I mean, Labman,
yeah,
TVS1, Hush. We can go down the rabbit hole. The NPR label.
oh, amazing, yes.
I mean, that's even if that was like techno with a darker edge, you could play that with all of this.
Especially some of the really early NPR stuff. Wow.
So
It's techno, it's house, it's
it was that whole period. It defined that entire period. It's where like deep house met dub techno was able to meet house.
yeah,
And that hadn't happened. And it made all of this come to fruition. And the main players in that whole bit, I mean, I'm not taking any credit for it. I think it's cosmic happenstance. Because prior to this period, nobody wanted to hear anything I was doing. They couldn't understand it. They didn't know how to market it, quote unquote. So it was like, I feel that, again, you stay with something long enough, eventually the right energies will bring you forward, and the people will decide from that point. I mean, at that point again, there's so many sounds competing for the limelight. And we come back, oh man, great point. Intentionality.
Exactly.
Intentionality. You know, what are you intending to do? Intending on being upfront because you believe you should be upfront. For this particular thing, it's questionable. But if your intention is to serve, you'll be upfront at some point because your intention is to serve.
It's a key word, intention.
I mean, I'm grateful for all, and I mean, it might sound like I know something. I'm just telling you the evidence of what has happened in my life. Now, if that is useful, brilliant.
It is.
It's definitely useful.
Yeah.
But this is just my experience walking it and being honest about it. I mean, I do my best to express myself fully. I'm not classically trained, but I'm very honest about who I am and what I love. And those are the things that make up the catalog. So Soul People Music, Boards, Earth Tones, Private Society, My Collective Resource, all same ethos. The difference is this time on Collective Resource, I'm grabbing people and collaborating with them to hopefully give them a bit of this understanding and hopefully amplify their understanding and show that we're better together.
Can you further develop about that topic of how they gather the people, like how it works when they said they gather the people to keep doing this kind of music? Is that what you mean? With the record label?
So basically, Fred's saying that his new project is about gathering different people together and creating music that way. This is what Collective Resource is all about.
The idea of collective, which is a collective of people, and resource, which is the people. So it's like both feeding off each other. For example, the first release is it's two. There's two. It's like a double release. It's like 001 A and B, but they're separate releases. It's Vivian Wang, who I support with remixes of her first debut project on the label. And then there is also a remix collab of one of my songs. I don't usually have my music remixed, but I've got Dave Ajou, Juliet Mendoza, and Koreatown Acid on that record. And they all bring something completely different to it. And had I not met these folks at a particular time, it would not have occurred to me to ask them to be involved or even look at my music and give me a different perspective on it. So I think like the idea behind this project is to continue to do that, to show that we are, especially now, better together when it comes to house music, techno music. I mean, at some point, I think the idea of genre when it comes down to this style and frequency might just melt away a bit, because house and techno are extremely close now. They're like, they're not just cousins anymore. There's something else now. And you need to make that relationship even better. So collective resource, yeah.
I remember you were talking, there was a time where some house music meets techno music and then mixed up techno, and it wasn't very popular in the market because of not knowing how to properly market those kind of music. Do you feel this is coming back again, or do you mind telling us which year was it so that we can have some concept to those tracks?
Understood. Okay, when the Renaissance in New York happened, honestly, I think it was the techno community that pushed the Renaissance into hyperdrive. And that was a combination of folks. But when all the players that would, I would say, spearhead that, they were all, like, for example, myself, I speak for myself, I was making my version of house music, my version of techno music, and all of my other colleagues were doing similar things. They were all doing unique things of their interpretation, and how it got genrealized, if that's even a word, was by the press and the public. They called it house, they called it techno, they called it dub this and that. And in the end, it turned out to be called minimal house. I didn't look at it that way, but I mean, I'm not looking to give thoughts in the mouth, talking about people listening to you and appreciating what you do. So, prior to that point, house music, it didn't even remotely sound like that. It was more tribal and percussive, and a lot of what you hear today, which is more or less songs and things like that, which is fine. It's perfect, exactly where it's supposed to be. But we brought something that was different to the table, and it kind of turned the soil for the entire thing. And I don't think anybody in the Renaissance gets any credit for it, which is fine. We're here still, and it's important because another generation needs to embrace that.
Yeah.
Because what they're embracing now isn't 100% organic,
Yeah.
and the intentionality of it is self-serving. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
you know. And we need music. Music is medicine. This stuff keeps people off of ledges.
Yeah. Yeah.
This stuff helps people cope.
Yeah.
Problems
Yeah.
that they're really dealing with is music by the people for the people. And because we're in a very man, it's hard to say without sounding okay, I'll just say it. It's we're in a period where it's really about self-promotion and kind of a self-seeking thing, like defining the thing that nobody knows about before they actually know about it. And that's not how actual music works. You know, you're like doing a commercial for yourself, which is never good. You know what I mean? Put the music first. Just the music first, always. So if you're presenting a song, don't talk about it, play it.
Yeah.
Let people decide for themselves. And if it's medicine, trust me, everybody's going to grab it. No question about that. And that's the only thing I want to share, because just like everybody else loves to hear good things and have good things happen, I do too. We need to inspire that into the reality of folks. If you don't give an example, what do they have to go on?
So, have you got anything that you want to play for us, Fred?
I think I do, but I have it on a USB. So I'm gonna play a tune of I don't know, but it's gonna be archived, right?
It is.
I didn't ask permission to play this.
Oh, really?
It's a remix I did for somebody. Okay, maybe I don't say who it is.
Okay, yeah.
And just play it?
Yeah, yeah.
But as a remix
Do
of
you
it,
think they'll be upset, or
I don't have no idea.
so we're going to have a world premiere?
But it's so good, though, in my opinion, because the original is so dope that I barely had to do anything except reimagine the song itself. I didn't have to go in and do an interpretation of anything. And I figured, why not give it a spin, because I think it's great.
Amazing.
And perhaps a nice way to say thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, I guess I'm not going to be able to play that one. Well, I did have something to play. Now I kind of don't. I got to figure out what's going on with this thing.
Oh, we're not going to get onto the Pioneer update chat, are we?
Oh man.
Maybe we should leave that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
be too emotional.
I'm definitely going to need a sound check.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. Do you have one?
Yeah, let me find. Actually, should I play? I've got one that's a new one that's unmastered,
Okay.
and it's actually got a sample of our friend. His vocal. It's by me and a good friend, Cortex. So it's not mastered, so we might have to crank it up a little bit. Let's see how it sounds.
Oh, that's really alright.
We should have like a live rendition.
Pass me a light.
Sounding a little bit like Carl Hyde, Underworld.
Yeah.
Lo-fi vocal.
Lo-fi vocal.
Beautiful.
Filter in my thoughts.
such a great vocal.
You on the vocal?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, let's go.
yeah.
Nice.
It's actually a song that he did quite a while ago that he put on YouTube, and I said, he and Ryan, we were working on this track, and I just suddenly thought, we gotta put vocals on that. So we cut it up. Actually, it's only a very, very small section of your song, but it fits so nicely.
I made that track almost 10 years ago, 9 years ago, and I didn't really publish it. And at the beginning of this year, I feel like, why? You know, a big why to me. So let's do it, and then I just publish it.
That's a lot of energy from when you started to when you put it out.
Yeah.
Like, because you know when you make something, right? You capture the moment in whatever form you record it, it's trapped. It doesn't become less energy.
It's boring. You know?
So
Yeah.
like it's like fruit. It gets really, really, really ripe. And then you pick the right time and place. Moody
Thanks, Andy.
vocals. It's dope. Very nice.
Constantly learning from the master.
You too. You both. Learning from you both. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining our podcast today, and thanks for Eaton Radio giving us this great studio for us to record everything.
And thanks to
And thanks to Freppy for coming to Hong Kong again. And cameras here. Okay. Yeah.
absolute legend.
Yeah. And
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
at
See you
Reach.
guys tomorrow at Reach.